everybody, and welcome back to When the Night Comes. Thanks, Dan. Relationship points. Flirt options are unlocked in this chapter. For each flirt selected, you will gain points with the chosen character. But choose wisely. These points will fluctuate and... Excuse me, I was fucking reading that. Can I go back? Kind of. Let's go load to the next page, please. Yep, there we go. Fluctuate to determine whose romance you will unlock in the later chapters. Points gained will show at the top of the screen with the heart symbol. Interesting. Who do we want to flirt with? I don't know. I didn't decide. I'll make it to the enforcement headquarters with time to spare after August's thinly veiled threat about tardiness yesterday. After... Hang on a second, sorry. The fucking game is weird. It's like, it's got two black borders on the edge. So it makes adjusting the game to the screen size a bit more difficult. After a terrible night's sleep on scratchy sheets, I couldn't possibly feel less ready to face my less than friendly superior. I raised my fist to knock the door, but the muffled conversation that I hear coming from inside has me hesitating. It sounds heated, and I glance at the clock on the wall behind me to check the time. I have 1 minute before I'm sure General Wilhelm will admonish me for being late. So, I take a deep breath, and I knock. The voices stop suddenly. I hear a clack of heels, and then... Yes? Oh, it's you. He's so rude to me. Or, they are so rude to me, sorry. They quickly glance at the clock, brushing a stray mauve curl behind their ear. Well, you're on time, at least. Congratulations. I know it's terribly costly. I know it's terribly cozy out there, but please, come in. I nod politely and quickly step into the enforcer's office. It's beautifully decorated, neatly arranged bookcases lining the walls, laden with a collection of trinkets and tomes that possibly rivals Ezra's. I don't know, that sentence was weird. There was a huge desk in the middle that's positively overflowing with reports and letters, and a half-empty inkpot and elegant sapphire quill poised and ready. Then, as if I'm experiencing a rather vivid case of deja vu... Oh, it's Piper. Piper appears before me, looking... This music is really loud. I hope it's okay. I'm gonna turn it down anyways. Whatever. Do you mind stopping, please? Thanks. Piper appeared before me, looking decidedly less impressed than she did in the tavern the other day. Hunter Spooley. Yep, that's me. Spools. Hello, Piper. It's nice to see you. You guys couldn't tell it, but I was making a very, considering face. Imagine what a considering face was. Yep, that was mine. My face, yep. I think I read that. I'm not sir. Sure. I am also not a sir, but... She stares at me, eyes narrowed as her gaze flickers to August, who stands quietly just behind me. The hands are clasped behind their back, a dark eyebrow quirked almost expectantly. Piper frowns at them, nose crinkling before she turns her attention back to me. Yes, you too. I offer her a smile, but the one she offers in return doesn't quite meet her eyes. I appreciate the effort nonetheless. This music really reminds me of Don't Starve. You know, thinking on it, I would not be surprised if August was a Don't Starve character. So, you two have met already, In the tavern again, Piper? August sighs heavily when we both fail to respond, and Piper manages to look anywhere but her superior. Anyway, they run their hand along the edge of their desk, inspecting their perfectly dust-free fingertip as Piper huffs in their general direction. Okay, August is growing on me a little bit. It doesn't hurt that they're very pretty, okay? I know you have very important business to attend to, but I'm not finished with you yet, Willenheim. Sorry. Is that so? I've given you your mission, you've complained about it. Loudly. So pray tell, Major, what else could there possibly be? Piper flinches, and I see her demeanor shift, her admirable determination withering and dying as that word rolls off August's tongue. A harsh reminder of her demotion, one that clearly stings. Oh. Rough. I wonder if I'll ever get the chance to ask her about it, to finally know exactly what she did that warranted her being made such an example of. Nice, August. Real nice. You could quite literally cut the tension in here with a dull-bladed dagger. Sorry. This is a weird thing to say. It's not awkward at all. We have a meeting, General? August sighs, glancing at Piper almost guiltily. But the sorry expression fades the second she meets their gaze. Yes, we do. Is that everything for today, Merriman? She growls, a quiet rumble through her clenched teeth. Sorry. I don't know what this word she was trying to say. Wasn't asking. Ugh. They take a deep breath, pinching the bridge of their nose between forefinger and thumb, utterly exasperated. You're dismissed for today, Merriman. They stare each other down, and I wonder how the hell they ever managed to become one of the most successful elimination teams in all of Escria. I've heard countless weird and wonderful stories of their partnership, of Piper's unparalleled strength and August's unmatched intelligence. Ooh. But here, now, all I see is a dispirited hunter and an impossibly tired enforcer. Harry is on his way. I suggest you depart quickly. She blanches at that, and I can almost see her admitting defeat, her shoulders relaxing and the furrow on her brow fading. Fine. I'll go and look for your possibly a small chimera, but probably a big fucking cat. Oh my god, I just want to point out, I have a possibly small chimera, but she's really just a big fucking cat. She's not that big, like... She's just a fatty. She's a fatty. And her name is Chimera. Oh, that's awesome. I love her so much. One day you'll have to stop punishing me, you know? Piper grabs a set of expensive-looking daggers from the chair in front of their desk, strapping them to her back with haste. She pauses in front of me, and those dark eyes soften as she meets my gaze. Soften. Yep, English is weird. See you around, Hunter. Enjoy your important meeting, and remember what I said. Another glance at August, and they suddenly become very interested in studying their perfectly manicured nails. Foot. Arse. With a wink, she spins to face August. My sister and her interrupting all of my recordings today. With a wink, she spins to face August. She squares up to them playfully, the enforcer towering above her, still uncaring and unbothered. They are very tall. August, I mean. I'm into that. Twat. And with that, she turns on her heel and slams the door so hard it shakes in its frame. August walks around the back of their desk, practically falling into the well-used leather chair. Oh. Ah, they're so pretty. How can anybody be so fucking pretty? I scan the piles upon piles of paperwork that litter the wood, taking in the countless reports and letters and scribbled diagrams and gruesome drawings. I get the impression August is in over their head, and the disorder of all this information making my fingers twitch. They watch me carefully, stifling a yawn with a trembling hand. I know, trust me, I know. As much as I hate to admit it, we got nothing. As of right now, I suspect everyone in this town, as should you. Though I may not really know them just yet, I sense that this kind of vulnerability I'm seeing is rare. August doesn't strike me as the type to admit defeat so easily, and something more serious than the usual stress of the job seems to be lingering under the surface. After what I saw back in Ezra's shop, I can't help but wonder what they were like before all this, the way the young witch looked at them. Pity. Ezra pitied August. Another heavy sigh, and a noise I suspect I'll be hearing often. A noise, okay. And August huffs a quiet laugh. They relax back into the chair for the first time since we met. They seem to let their guard down. I don't know why Harry decided you were the right person for this job above all others, but I trust him implicitly. So whatever plan he has for you, we had better make it work. Sad face. I was just playing Hakuoki, and where I was, spoiler alert, Sanan is sad. And I love Sanan. He is an angel. But this is reminding me of that because he was so sweet and nice in the beginning, but then now he's all hurt and angsty. So I wonder if August and Sanan are comparable in that way. Click. I read that. They pause, staring me down with those ice blue eyes. Now, are you ready to begin? I think I am. Oh, let's flirt. Oh! So excited. Oh, sorry. I can't read what the fuck it says. August -5? Did I just get -5? No, it's a plus. Okay, it's just hard to see. I feel emboldened as that piercing gaze bores into me, something twisting in my gut. I lean forward in my chair to make sure they see me. Really see me. I can't wait to see where our partnership takes us, General Willenheim. I can say names. August presses their finger to their lips, praising me. Oh, really? Well, together I think we can do absolutely anything we truly wanted to. Is this flirty? Though they're clearly trying to hide it, to stifle it, I see their lips twist into a sly grin. Ah, they're so cute. And you state this after knowing me for merely a day and a half? How bold. I know what I'm capable of, and you're quite prolific, you know? Long dark lashes kiss the tops of lightly flushed cheeks. Oh! Dusky rose painting pale skin as they lean in. Closer. Closer. Close enough for me to see the flecks of violet that swirl at the outer edge of impossibly blue irises. Do we get to see? August is magic, overflowing with it. It pours out of them in waves, and I can feel it deep in my bones, settling on my skin. But call it a gut feeling. A quiet, careful laugh, and suddenly they don't look quite so tired anymore. I suppose you hunters hold quite the advantage on me with your gut feelings, don't you? August tilts their head their face doing something strange, an expression too quick to catch before it settles back into that implacable ease they've mastered so wonderfully. They curl the corner of a page that settles beneath their fingertips, where their hands have drawn closer to me, to the edge of the desk. They clear their throat, but their next words sound noticeably husky. Oh my god! I just thought it would be like a light amount of flirting, but now they're like, whoa, husk. Wow, okay. Regardless, I do hope you're right, Hunter Spoolie. They pause. Rather, I look forward to testing your theory. Oh shit. Oh my god. I smile, genuine and warm. Me too, and please call me Lainey. We're going to be partners after all, aren't we? Very well, but you will still call me General. Oh, that's what he likes. Yes, sir. Can you still... Well, there's not really a neutral... Well, I feel like... Yes, sir can be neutral. Like, I've heard people call... or say yes, sir to women. But there's not really... a neutral way to say... respectfully... agreeing, you know what I mean? Like, there's yes ma'am and yes sir, but there's no like... Yeah, it'd be odd if you said yes them. Yes you. I guess you just have to say yes general. I guess that is neutral enough. Sorry, my brain has gone on a wander. Back on the path. I laugh, but nod my agreement. Why, of course, General. I wish there was a neutral, like, yes, sir type of way to say that. I don't know. I say yes, sir a lot because I think it's funny. I hear footsteps in the hallway, and August quickly rises to their feet. They straighten their clothing, tie their sash a little tighter, smooth down their hair. Okay, why are you getting ready? I follow their lead and move to stand by their side, my heart hammering triple time. Oh, sorry. My brain keeps putting periods where there is none. Ow, I've been sitting on my feet. And now my ankles hurt. My heart hammering triple time in my chest as those footsteps draw nearer. There's a distinct clang of metal, of armor and heavy boots. Sorry, fucking words. Then the door swings open and an imposing figure enters the room. I do just want to say, whoever wrote this really loves their commas. I feel like this person looks like someone I've seen before, but I'm not sure. Whatever, moving on. His gaze flickers between myself and August, expression stern, emotionless. I risk a glance at August out of the corner of my eye, and their unmoving, step to the spot. I've heard many tales about Harold Addington III, and as he stands before me, I feel a certain sense of pride that he would choose to summon me to deal with such a vital case. He's adorned in the standard enforcer colors of black and gold, but his outfit is far more regal than any of the other higher-ranking officials I've seen. It is very pretty, and this, like, gauntlet is super cool. Oh, he takes it off. Harry peels off the steel gauntlet that covers his right hand, setting it upon August's desk. His elaborate coat is discarded next, and he stands toe-to-toe with August. Why does he... I don't know what he reminds me of, but he reminds me of something severely. A wide smile breaks out across his scarred lips, and he pulls August into a tight embrace, a deep, comforting chuckle rumbling in his chest. So he's nice. Aww. Old friend. How the heck are you? It's been a while, has it not? How the heck are you? He must have children. He pulls away, still firmly holding onto August's shoulders. You look exhausted. Have you not been sleeping? August offers him a wry smile as Harry drops his hands. I'm trying to sleep. Does that count? Harry throws them a look, something stern but edged with a certain fondness, one that a father might give to their child. Called it. Called it. I just literally said that he was very fatherly. Look after yourself, Augustus. August nods once, still smiling as Harry turns to stand before me. Hunter Spooley, such a pleasure to meet you. I can finally put a face to all of those impressive reports I read. He offers me his hand, and I eagerly take it. It's a pleasure to meet you too, Lieutenant General Addington, sir. He smiles warmly, keeping his grip on my hand, his other holding my forearm. Harry is fine. None of that formal nonsense. We're going to be working together for the foreseeable future. We might as well get familiar. Wouldn't you agree? Of course, sir. Harry. He laughs, and I feel incredibly relaxed in his presence. Now, let's get to business, shall we? August hands him a standard issue file that's sealed with wax, bearing the Scarlet Enforcer emblem. They watch me carefully as Harry breaks the seal, a heavy sigh falling from his lips as he quickly scans the report. He closes his eyes, handing the paper back to August before he turns his back to us both. A silent moment passes, and Harry rounds his shoulders, clicking his neck before he faces us. Popping? Popping his neck? Is that what it is? You know, Lainey, I've worked for the Enforcers for nearly 30 years, and I've never felt quite so useless. Harry pauses, the waver in his voice evident as he composes himself. This music is nice. My favorite game soundtrack ever in the entire world is Nier and Nier Automata. Okay, they're very similar because, fuck it, obvious reasons. But I just love that shit. Sorry. I'm trying to sit in a way that's with my legs in the chair because I'm short. And also doesn't hurt my ankles from sitting on my footsies. Okay. We've lost some of our best, our brightest, kindest. I truly am at a loss, and I'm finding it hard to remove my emotions from the equation when it's my own people being needlessly slaughtered. August averts their gaze, stealing a quick glance at me, seemingly sussing my reaction, but also giving Harry a moment of privacy. Nothing can bring them back, but we can bring those responsible to justice. Suddenly it hits me. The victims were hunters, weren't they? Yes, they were hunters, just like you. Harry huffs a quiet laugh, clearing his throat. I know we're putting a great deal of responsibility on your shoulders, but I have never-ending faith that you're the one who can help us end this madness. Now, do you have any questions? Ask about the victim, ask if there's any patterns in killings. I can't remember if choices matter in this game. Like, obviously the flirt choice matters, but do the choices themselves matter? Because these seem like they could lead to the same path. You know what I mean? Other than the timing of the murders, are there any other patterns I should be aware of? Harry's mouth twists in a grimace, and he shakes his head. I hope you don't think ill of me, but I'd rather not tell you at this point. Fucking why? He and August share a look, and August seems perplexed by this statement. Yeah, dude, me too. Sorry, fucking words are hard. Harry places a hand upon August's shoulder, a reassuring touch, a smile. Then he's looking back at me. Please just trust me, both of you. I want you to go out there and see things with your own eyes. Utilize your abilities. Then we can discuss what we've already discovered. Fucking okay. It's kind of dumb, but whatever. Don't text me. This is a complex case with many intricacies. but I think it's important that initially you'd let our opinions cloud your judgment. Oh, you don't let our opinions cloud your judgment. Sorry, for a second I had a panic that I forgot to push record. I hate it when that happens. As terrifying and as baffling as this might seem, I see where Harry is coming from. I don't want to be influenced by an investigation that's so obviously failing. Oh, cool. How many victims do we have so far? August looks at Harry for guidance, and Harry nods his permission. 4, but we anticipate more. The victim has shown up every 7 days for the past month. Yes, with the most recent being 6 days ago, which is when I called for you. Enough is enough. So, we're due a body, if our calculations are correct. Harry clears his throat, twists the gold band on his finger. Concentrate on the latest victim for now. Male, 46 years of age, a general. One of our best. We owe him this. I take a deep breath before I ask my next question, feeling immensely guilty before it even falls from my lips. Uh-oh, what is it? Were all of them burned? I saw the ash, the charred ground. Each body has been burned very badly, yes, to the point where we cannot determine what wounds they inflicted beforehand. Not even with magic? He shakes his head, exchanging a look with August, when I can't quite place. Not even with magic. So, where would you like me to start? He already told you, start with the 47-year-old. I almost expect them to tell me to figure it out myself. Stop it! Oh, jeez. Nobody ever wants to talk to me until I'm doing something by myself. Okay. That was unfair. I'm always doing things by myself. I almost expect them to tell me to figure it out myself, but Harry surprises me. Well, the most obvious of places would be the Ibex. The what? Yeah, me too. I wondered that too. A curious pair are the Woodridge twins. They've taken up residence in the old church in the middle of town. I'm sure you've seen it. I saw it all right. Big, imposing, obliviously dilapidated. Obviously. Fucking words. Can you just read eyes instead of assuming what you see? Yes, I did notice it. It's quite hard to miss. But I assumed it was empty with being in such a state of disrepair. We had only dreamed that it becomes vacant, unfortunately. August clenches their fists, the faintest flicker of magic shimmering in their palm. Sorry. Oh, he's so grouched. They are so grouched. Sorry, I keep fucking that up, and I feel like a fucking awful, horrible person. Please don't hate me. They're a plague upon this town, spouting their drivel and preaching to the dumb and ignorant. They're idiots. Augustus. August takes a deep breath, their magic dissipating. Right, sorry. I'm not fond of them, if you couldn't already tell. Harry and I share a glance, and he smiles warmly, winking at me. Oh, I think we got the picture. Now, Lainey, like I said, I suggest you start with them. Just see what you make of them. Yep. Okay, just making sure I read that right. You might need to play along with the woman. She tends to favor playing games, anything to baffle you. Have they already been questioned? Are they dangerous? Are they human? Harry shrugs, and August's annoyance at him being so unbothered is obvious. Yes, they're human. Yes, they've been questioned. Hunter Merriman saw to that, but she and the woman have a rather tumultuous relationship. Their alibi is solid. They have a guard, a human who has connections to Clan Casimir. She has no reason to support the Ibex other than just doing her job. I'd still be interested to hear what you think of her, though. So in theory, they're harmless, but they do have the people's ear for some bizarre reason. They prey on fear, and the town is infected with that right now. Be cautious of them. They certainly won't take kindly to you. Oh, I think Lena can handle them just fine. Have some faith, August. August waves her hand dismissively, wandering over to a filing cabinet friends, nestled in the far corner, was muttering something under their breath. A warm hand touches my arm, a reassuring gesture. We trust you, Lainey. Now, once you've spoken to them, I suggest just going wherever your gut tells you. Okay, words are hard. I'm sorry. There's plenty of other Lunarians for you to get to know, so just take today to really find your feet. I think it's the long sentences that are tripping me up. I was just reading Hakoki, which is very, stop and go, I guess. I must meet with August and some of the other generals now, but please report back to us in the morning. Unless you find any damning evidence, of course, in which case report back immediately. I nod, glancing at my superior, who has taken it upon themselves to dive headfirst into yet another pile of paperwork. Trust no one, right? Not a bloody soul. Suspect everyone. Question everything. Oh, fun. I close the door behind me, leaving August and Harry with their discussion. I feel a bit overwhelmed, but ready. Ready to finally start my investigation, to hopefully end all this chaos. I take a deep breath and straighten my clothes, feeling ruffled from both that initial heated encounter and the brief but informative conversation with the Lieutenant General. As I turn to leave, I spot Piper leaning against the wall. She looks stoic, her gaze fixed on the floor, but she perks up when she spots me approaching. Gotta check you out. Yep, you're beautiful. Confirmed. Oi, Lainey. I can call you that, can't I? She makes a quiet, frustrated noise and closes her eyes. She shakes her head, exhaling sharply before she meets my gaze. Listen, I'm sorry you had to witness that exchange. I couldn't bring myself to leave without apologizing for my behavior both today and in the tavern the other day. It's been a rough few weeks, and I often let my passions overrule any rational thought that I promise I'm capable of having. It's unbecoming of me. I'm taken aback by the vulnerability of her words, her stance. This isn't the Piper I thought I'd have to become accustomed to. Piper, She raises her hand to halt my words, calloused fingers curling into a fist. Please, Lainey, just let me apologize, alright? Then we can pretend I'd never acted like a complete arsehole, and you can go and do your job. So. She sticks out her hand, daggers clinging noisily where they rest in the holster at her back. The name's Piper Merriman. She rolls her eyes, taking a deep breath before her next sentence. Major Piper Merriman. She throws me a wicked grin, and I can't help but laugh at her playfulness. I understand why you're upset. The pleasure's mine. Nope. I guess. Maybe some other time. I place my hand on top of hers, carefully lowering it to her side. You really don't have to apologize, Piper. I know how hard it must be for you. She clears her throat, her grin morphing into a wry smile. Yes, well, still, no reason to be a twat to you. It's not your fault that I... Her smile widens, eyes sparkling, and I sense that she's up to no good. Was it, Lainey? Did you plan all this just so you'd get to come here to meet me, the infamous Hunter Merriman? I half laugh and shake my head quicker than is probably necessary. Don't let your head grow too much. You won't fit through the doors. She studies August's office door with twisted lips. She makes a disgusted noise, her nose crinkling. Ugh. Oops. And be stuck here with Willenheim? Why is that so hard for me to say? Perish the thought. Now. With a heavy sigh, Piper glances at the clock before turning back to me with a roll of her eyes. Ugh, I better get going. I have an inevitably worthless mission to get on with. People in this town are adept at mistaking common house cats for ghastly creatures. Must be something in the water. Or that kitty cats are spooky. They're little spooky kitties. No. They're sneaky. And it is true. That cats go bump in the night. You can hear them on the roof. Sorry, it's a dumb joke. I should go too. Yes, of course. Now off you go. Save Lunarius and all that. See you around, Lainey. She turns on her heel and heads for the exit, pulling her chestnut hair up into a messy bun as she goes. Gather my wits, checking my supplies and weapons, adjusting my armor. It's time to begin. Alright, cool. Excite. It's a strangely beautiful day in Lunarius, regardless of the biting cold. The sky is clear and the cobbled streets abuzz with smiling faces, people strolling to the market with empty baskets and full pockets. There's a certain different vibe to the last time I walked the street. No panic, no haste. As I draw nearer to the center of town, I see the imposing white building. The scarlet flags sway in the wind, but the closer I look, I see that they're tattered and dirty. The twins may be human, but the way my stomach drops and twists as I approach the withered wooden door tells me I may be a little shocked by what I find. It reminds me, I just watched Cooties with my husband, the movie Cooties. What was he saying? Weird. He's talking about the rear wheels. Dual rear wheels. That's what it was. Dual rear. Sorry. It was super funny. I highly recommend. I push open the heavy doors, and the sight that I met with snatches the breath from my lungs. The abandoned church is huge. Its domed ceiling was seemingly once decorated with an intricate painting, but the layers have cracked and peeled over time, and nothing more than the remnants of what looked like a starry night sky remain. The furniture is caked with a thick layer of dust, and the pews are in disarray, covered with strange etchings that look like they've been carved into the cheap wood with a blunt nail. There's a lot to take in, but I'm not here to scour this ruin for evidence. I'm here to talk to its inhabitants. The dread that is now firmly seated in the pit of my stomach churns violently, but it's something old, something that lingers. I anticipate that I might find a lot more than I bargained for if I truly desired, but I need to focus. I need to find the Woodridge twins. As if by magic, two pairs of startlingly blue eyes emerge from the shadows near the destroyed pulpit. Whoa! Hello, Hunter. We were expecting you. She's super pretty, way. He looks like a butler. To say that they're unusual would be an understatement, and they're not at all what I expected. Question them immediately? Start slow. I offer a small, friendly smile, however forced it may be. Word travels fast here, doesn't it? I'm Hunter Spooley, and you are? She narrows her eyes at me, suspicious for the briefest of moments before she's smiling, unquestionably friendly. Despite her best efforts, it's still unnerving. I'm Aurora, and this is my dear brother Armoros. Armoros? Amoros. Okay. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Hunter Spooley. I nod politely, but not quite sure which of them I should be focusing my attention on. Amoros doesn't appear to enjoy talking, or maybe he's simply not permitted to. His overbearing sister is clearly the leader of the two. Address Aurora. I study her steeled gaze, and she seems completely at ease, confident. So, Aurora, can you tell me what you do here? Amoros looks relieved that I didn't focus my attention on him, his once stiff shoulders sagging. Well, I'm glad that I picked the choice that seemed pretty obvious to me. Aurora clears her throat, a delicate hand covering her mouth as she does so. Well, what exactly would you like to know? What is the IBEC? What do you know about the murders? What is the IBEC? This music. I clear my throat, trying my hardest not to be distracted by their unnatural stillness. Can you explain to me what you do and why? They share a look, and Amoros nods once under his sister's ice-cold gaze. Our purpose is simple. We spread the word of the night, of those that are oppressed and murdered in cold blood. And who exactly are they oppressed, Miss Woodridge? She giggles, the sound musical but edging on manic. The creatures, of course. I look at Amoros, and he drops his gaze, color sweeping across his pale cheeks. Is my answer not satisfying, Hunter Spoolie? Surely you know that the institution that you serve brings harm to innocents? That the creatures you kill are nothing more than confused, lost, looking for salvation? I pause, carefully contemplating my response. My adult life has consisted of seeing creatures trying to mindlessly murder innocent people, trying to kill me as I protect them. I see no desire for salvation in that. I appreciate that there are creatures who don't intend to harm anyone, even some that are kinder than most humans, but... I smile again, take a deep breath. But I cannot bring myself to understand how you can so blindly support the slaughter of your own people. Amoros frowns deeply, and I swear I see him shaking his head at me, but it's just subtle enough for his sister not to notice. Because humans are inferior and pathetic. We infest and corrupt the earth by dedicating our time and resources to ridding it of the only things that give our wretched species any hope. She inhales sharply, calming herself and brushing her hands over the front of her skirt. So, Hunter Spoolie, to answer your question, we are here to protect the creatures, just as you are here to destroy them. Whoops. Return. What do you know about the murders? I'm sure you're very aware of the recent murders in the area. Can you tell me anything that may be of use in my investigation? Aurora steals her gaze, unblinking, fingers clasped tightly in front of her. We saw nothing, and we have an alibi. I look at Amoros, startled that he actually spoke, his voice soft, comforting. Regardless, his words sound practiced, rehearsed. He looks nervous, like he'd rather be anywhere else but here, and his eyes keep darting to the door behind me. Nothing at all? You're stationed right beside the graveyard where the last hunter's body was discovered. You're telling me you didn't hear a thing? He was brutally murdered, seemingly set alight and burned to ash, and yet he didn't scream or call for help? I find that hard to believe. Aurora's lip curls at the corner, her eyes dark. My brother speaks the truth, Hunter Spoolie. Question us all you like, but we've been through this with your insufferable predecessor. Just as Harry said, they apparently have an ironclad alibi, but my suspicion does not waver. I nod once, noting Amoros' gaze burning into me, and though I cannot gauge how he is feeling, my gut tells me he has something to say. Get him alone. Something he cannot with his twin sister by his side. I'm so uncomfortable. I'm like the most uncomfortable. Yeah. I'm like he's scared. I feel like Harry sent me here just to unnerve me. Surely he knew this is what I would be faced with. I still have little to nothing to work with here, and as the twins continue to stare me down, I think about his parting words. Suspect everyone, question everything. You truly have nothing else to say regarding the situation? Aurora stands firm, straight, her lips curling into that wolfish grin once more. Not a thing, dear Hunter. It was ever so wonderful to make your acquaintance, though. Truly. Do stop by again, all right? We're more than happy to accommodate you should your agency need to question us for a third time. Amoroso gives me a look again, and I wonder if it would be possible to somehow get him alone. I have a feeling I'd get a lot more out of him than I have from her. Thank you, Amoroso. On my way out, I see a small, neatly wrapped package sitting on the doorstep. I bend down to check the label, and written on it in an elegant script are the words, Zes Hewa, and Amoroso's name paired with a small heart. I may not know what it means, but I know a demonic language when I see one. Just as I suspected, there might be a lot more to Amoroso than meets the eye. I walk through the center of town for a while, getting to know the buildings, watching the people that pass me by. Linares turns into a quiet, nervous town as the sun begins to set, and I wonder if it's only recently lost its warmth. I consider heading for the graveyard, something tugging at me, telling me there's more there for me to find, but... Oh, Alcar appears from between the crooked houses, sending 2 children that were playing in the street scattering. You reek of them, the twins. What the hell have you been doing in that damn church? Don't be so grouch. Are you feeding into their bullshit already? He pauses, huffing a sharp breath through his nose. I thought you'd be different, just like everyone said you'd be. How stupid of me to want to believe them. This certainly isn't the first time I've been caught off guard by an angry lichen, but it's safe to say I don't need to fear for my life here. Maybe. It's not what you think. I was questioning them. He scoffs, rolling his eyes. His hands are shaking, but he balls them into fists when he catches me looking. Is that so? Why should I believe you? I don't even know you. No, you don't, which is why you should consider giving me the benefit of the doubt. I'm just doing my job. Do you suggest I just ignore my very obvious cult in the middle of the very obvious cult in the middle of town whilst investigating? His wolf ears flick back and forth, and he unclenches his fists. You were just questioning them? I nod. Yes, of course. I was hardly agreeing with them or their hatred for, well, me. He rolls his eyes at me, standing his ground. Something has me curious, and I can't resist asking. Alcar, they want to protect creatures like you from the likes of me. Why do you so clearly despise them? Because they couldn't care less about those of us that don't enjoy killing humans mindlessly. Because we're not true creatures if we stay out of trouble and befriend humans or each other. So if you dare to act even remotely humane, you're the enemy, or human, you're the enemy too. He smirks, brow raised. Now you're getting it. Alcar is apparently defensive to a fault, but I sense that under the surface, he's probably just scared. Maybe even a little lonely. It must be hard to be feared like that. I saw the way the people in the tavern reacted to him the other day. Yeah, I did really like you. Were you following me? Do you have friends here? Alcar, were you following me? He bristles, frowning deeply. Don't flatter yourself. You can just smell the twins a mile away. I just like to keep an eye on things, especially them, and especially strange new hunters who appear out of nowhere, then proceed to hang out with those creeps. Well, cross my heart and hope to die, my visit was innocent. I'd be careful making that statement here. Someone might take you up on it. I laugh, but he's probably right. So, you just happened to conveniently be hiding in an alley to jump out on me, then? Yep, okay. Something like that, yeah. A moment passes and Alcar sighs dramatically, shifting from one foot to the other. He doesn't seem wholly satisfied with my answer about questioning the twins, but I can't really do much more than to convince him. So, where are you heading now? Do you live nearby? He narrows his eyes at me, clearly contemplating if he wants to divulge such information. Why? Just curious. I'd like to keep an eye on you. I'd like to get to know you. Flirt. To flirt with him. I'm not wholly decided on who I want to, pursue. That's a good word. Because I don't have a problem with any of the characters. I'm not like, bleh, this character sucks. I also feel bad for this sad puppy. We won't flirt. We'll keep our single flirted person and see if that takes us to anywhere fun. I wouldn't be doing my job very well if I didn't at least attempt to keep my eye on you, would I? Wait, didn't I just say curious? Oh, well, that's what I meant to do. I'm just asking in an attempt at being friendly. You don't have to tell me. That's simple. I live around, in places. I scoff a laugh, earning a raised brow and a flick of his ears. Very specific. I am a specific guy. Aw, he's cute. He glances up at the sky, muttering something under his breath before he sets his gaze upon me once again. You wanna know what this, character design kind of reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of, what are they called? It's not the Monster High, but the other one? The like, fairy tale one that is a TV show and also dolls. You know what I mean. I don't remember what they're called. But, like, I feel like the face shape, his particularly, and Harry's as well, is very, looks like that, I guess. I don't know. Shrug. Whatever. Ignore me. I'm sorry. He glances up at the sky, muttering something under his breath, before he sets his gaze upon me once again. It's getting dark. There's a cold drink with my name on it at the Wolf. As much as I'd love to stay standing in the middle of the street talking to Lunarius' favorite, or new favorite person, I'd better dash. He's so cute, I changed my mind. I wanted to flirt. I changed my mind. Let's go back and flirt. I'm sorry. 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 We'll just see who we get the most, like, flirt chances with, I guess. Can't I just try to get to know you a little better? And why would you want to do that? I offer him a smile as I shake my head, incredulous that he so obviously suspects the worst from everyone. Because I think there's more to you than meets the eye. Am I not allowed to be curious? He narrows those vivid scarlet eyes, meeting my gaze and holding it. I suppose you are. He's so cute. But like, I just want to like cuddle him, right? Like, he just seems so cuddleable. He continues to stare me down, taking a tentative step closer. So if I did let you get to know me a little better, what then? I contemplate his question carefully, taking him in, surveying him from head to toe. Well, for starters, I'd buy you some shoes. He smirks, his scarred lips curling at the corner. He looks handsome when he smiles, a little softer. How thoughtful of you. But you wouldn't be the first to try. No. He shakes his head, wiggling his bare toes against the cobblestones. It's so funny that he doesn't wear shoes. I run faster without. And you need to run often? If I told you, I'd have to kill you. Okay. We share a quiet laugh, something passing between us. It's warm, and I feel like I'm finally getting to experience the real Alcar for the first time. Or at least, I hope. Funny. I'm a funny guy. He's so cute. He glances up at the sky, muttering something under his breath before he sets his gaze upon me once again. It's getting dark. Oh, okay. So much as I'd love to say, standing in the little street, favorite person? I better dash. Okay. Cool. And then it's this again. Alright, sorry for that randomness, but This picture was just so cute. How could I not go back and flirt? It's not often that you can go back and change time, huh? He turns as if he's about to leave, but he pauses, pointing at the ibex. The building looms over the town, and it appears even more unsettling now that I know who resides there. Stay away from them. You might think you're safe because they're human, but words can do just as much harm as knives or claws in this town. I get the horrible feeling that he's right, that maybe I should have pushed harder with them. I should be asking him about the murders, and I know for a fact that the enforcers don't brand creatures for fun, but Harry told me to trust my instincts, and right now something is pulling me towards that graveyard. I'll be careful. See to it that you are, Hunter. The town might bloody implode if it has to deal with much more. He makes a dismissive noise, scowling at me, but he's unable to mask his obvious worry for my well-being. Aw, what a cutie. Not that I care. Anyway, I'll see you around. He offers me a half-ass wave with a decidedly mischievous grin, and then Alcar slinks back into the alley from once again. Yeah, why are these sentences all so long? The graveyard looks so different at night. Beautiful, even. It is very pretty. Fog twists and curls around my ankles as I walk. Glimmering specks of vivid blue light sparkle in its haze. Thankfully, the darkness is a little more forgiving this evening, and something seems to be guiding me along, leading me right to the place where the murder happened. I'm hoping that I might be able to get a clear idea of what transpired here that night. What? That night now. Oh, I see. What transpired here that night. Now I know who he was, or what he was. I followed the path and see a dark figure crouching before a neat line of gravestones. There's no danger here, not that I can feel, but I approach with caution anyway. As I draw nearer, I recognize him. It's Finn. I suspected as such. I'm no fool, and I know he senses me here, but he doesn't flinch, keeping his gaze fixed on the dark forest that surrounds us. Give him space? No warm welcome this time? Give him space. He's obviously into something. I stand in silence and observe him, noticing the defeated set of his broad shoulders. He already seems different here to the man I encountered the other night in Ezra's shop. More stoic. Oh wait, Finn! Oh, I was expecting the demon, and I wasn't expecting Finn. Yeah, just let him do his vampire thing. He takes a deep breath, one I know he doesn't need, and turns slowly. What brings you here on this fine evening? Oh, hanging out in graveyards is just part of the job. He rolls his eyes playfully, offering me a smile. Same. I mean, I relate to the people here a lot more than I do anyone else. I laugh and he joins me, his expression softening a little. For someone who requires no sleep, he looks tired, defeated. Do you really spend your free time hanging around graveyards like the vampires in all the storybooks? He gestures at the tombstone, shrugging. How else would I chat with my friends? He stares at me quite intently, smirk fading. The dull golden glow of his eyes is strangely comforting in the darkness, and they glisten as he cocks his head, seemingly trying to suss me out. You know, I find it soothing. It's so peaceful, and humans can be so very loud. He pauses, looking up at the stars, and he smiles. It's nice. I look around us. The trees are swaying softly in the breeze. Crickets chirping in the tall grass. Not another living soul apart from myself, and, well, he may not be living per se, but he's here. You're right. There's something peaceful about it. Curiosity shines in his gaze, and he's apparently impressed by my answer. How are you coping with all this? It must be overwhelming starting fresh in a strange place. He pauses, his nose crinkling, pointed ears twitching. I forgot his ears were pointed. Especially one as strange as this. I grin, agreeing with him wholeheartedly. I'm slowly getting the hang of it, I think. You're doing just fine, Lainey. So tell me, why are you really here at this hour? I really need to have a look around, and I sensed something near where the body was found the night after I arrived. Yes, there was definitely a strange energy here. He pauses, looking as though he's trying to decide if he should say what he's thinking. I can help you, you know. I mean, if you wanted an immortal opinion. An immortal opinion. How exactly can you help me? He huffs a quiet laugh, folding his arms across his chest. Well, with an excellent sense of smell and ability to see see things your human eyes cannot be, Sorry, let me restart. Well, with an excellent sense of smell and an ability to see things your human eyes cannot be of use. I feign disinterest, a playful roll of my eyes as he waits for my response. I suppose I shouldn't dismiss any help, but how do I know you're not the thing committing these horrible crimes? I've been told to trust no one, more times than I can count, so tell me, Finn, why should I trust you? He offers me a wry smile, but sadness lingers in his gaze. Freedom. Freedom? He nods again, taking a deep breath, another deep, unnecessary breath. Oh, he looks so sad. I've been trying to be a better man since the day I died. My sire was a cruel man, a tyrant, and being around that for centuries does something to you. Where is he now, your sire? He swallows thickly, rubbing the back of his neck. It's almost a nervous gesture, and the first time I've seen him do anything that looked remotely human or graceless. Dead, killed by your lieutenant general. I owe Harry my life. He freed me from Levi's shackles. He pauses, head tilted towards the night sky, and he closes his eyes. I've done terrible things in my time, and I intend to pay penance for those for the rest of my days. A smile, something wicked. Which, if you hadn't heard, is forever. There's so many things I long to ask him. He's seen so much, done so much, and I assume lost so much. So, to answer your question again, I value doing the right thing above all else, even if sometimes I tend to stumble a little, metaphorically, of course. I offer him a wry smile, watching him watch me. Okay, I'm probably not gonna flirt with him because I'm not into the angsty boy. I'm not into angst. I don't... Despite the way I dress, you know, I'm not into darkness and angst. I like happy fun times. I think I need all the help I can get, so thank you, Finn. I take a deep breath, exhaling sharply. So, where the hell do we begin? He quirks a dark brow at me, fangs shining when he speaks. You're the expert, shouldn't you be telling me? I brush past him, returning his smile as I head for the site of the murder. Don't push your luck, vampire. He laughs a quiet chuckle, and he dutifully follows me. We stop at the charred patch of grass, Finn bending to pick up one of those bloodied shards of the shattered gravestone. He brings it to his nose, glancing at me before he gives it a sniff. He crinkles his nose, apparently repulsed by whatever scent he's picked up. He hands me the stone, wiping his hands off on his trousers. I suggest you keep that. That's like nothing I've smelled before, and I've smelled a lot of different things in my time. I throw him an accusatory glance before I turn my attention back to what he's handed me. I put it in my pocket for safekeeping, confused about why such a thing was left uncollected. You can't pick up anything familiar at all? So it's not the victim's blood then? He shakes his head. Definitely not his. It smells off. If it's from a creature, it's certainly not what I've come across in my 600 years. He's an old boy. Whoops, whatever, I guess we'll save because I accidentally did that again. Well, here goes nothing. I do exactly as I did last time, closing my eyes, concentrating, pouring all of my energy into seeking out the lingering memory. It's just as I remember, painful, loud, and I almost can't bear it as a deep, scarred voice echoes in my mind. Leave while you still can. I feel a force pushing at me, but it's weak. Nothing I can't handle, so I fight it and hold my ground. It's not hostile, but panicked. It's trying to tell me to go, to get out, to run. That just makes me want to stay all the more. I hear Finn saying my name, but it's quiet, distant, almost as if I'm underwater. I want to help. Tell me how. Who did this to you? No help, just death. You can't stop them. I tried. I failed. The voice disappears and all I'm left with are more questions. I open my eyes to find Finn crouched before me, eyes wide, concern etched on his angular face. Lainey, what the fuck was that? Thanks, bro. Thanks for cursing for my sake. Oh, you look so surprised. He is a cutie, though. You didn't hear that? Hear what? I wasn't trying to. I didn't want to risk my abilities interfering with yours. I exhaled sharply, shaking my head. It was the hunter. That's never happened before. What do you mean? I mean, I feel things, hear things sometimes too, but I've never directly spoken to a spirit like that before. At least, that's what I think it was. I should go. We both moved to stand, my legs feeling a little shaky beneath me. Hey, take it easy. I nod, regretting it immediately as a wave of dizziness overtakes me. Whoa there. Are you sure you're good to go alone? Yes, I'll be fine. I just need to find Ezra. He can help you, trust me. He's good with weird shit like this. I contemplate heading back to see August, but I suspect they wouldn't appreciate me barging in at this hour with little more than a ghost story. You're right. I'll head for his shop immediately. Finn nods, still watching me lest I wobble. Be careful. Head straight there, okay? I will. Thank you, Finn. See you around, Lainey. Yep. He turns and heads for the forest, a final glance at me over his shoulder before he disappears. Now I need to find Ezra, and fast. As I hurry to the shop, still unsteady on my feet, my mind reeling. What the hell is going on in this town? It looks pretty crazy. I round the corner and spot Ezra's lantern, but it's not lit. I didn't realize how late it had gotten. I can only hope that he's home. I knock on the door and immediately hear a loud crash, followed by quick footsteps. Oh! The door creaks open slowly, and a sheepish face that's definitely not Ezra's appears. Hello? I'm taken aback by the sight of the demon, his eyes wide and wondrous as he stares at me, apparently trying to figure out what to say. Are you supposed to be in there, Omen? He holds the door a little tighter, knuckles bleeding white. Yes, I'm maybe kind of living here right now. Oh, really? He smiles shyly, his ears twitching. Ezra took me in when I had nowhere else to go. I don't stay here all the time, just when I need to. I see. Well, is Ezra here? He shakes his head, opening the door a little more. No, he went out. He said he wouldn't be long, but I don't know exactly when he'll be back. And his eyes widen a little more as if he's remembered something, mouth forming a little O. Sorry, would you like to come in? I contemplate rushing off to continue my search for Ezra, but I would be stupid to miss a chance to find out a little more about this curious demon. I'd love to, but just for a moment. There's a neat little pile of cushions arranged on the rug in the middle of the shop, and a handful of empty wrappers that I can only assume were once filled with treats. Omen rushes to pick the wrappers up, crunching them into a ball, his tail swaying as he sticks them in a small bin hidden behind the counter. He seems oddly at home here, so I assume he's telling the truth about staying here often. You seem very tired. Have you been busy today? I laugh quietly, rubbing my temple, my head continuing to thrum. Very busy, yes. He nods, picking up a lightly glowing blue crystal that sits on the countertop, fiddling with it nervously. Ullman, can I ask you a few questions if that's okay with you? Oh, I suppose yes, but I might not be able to answer much. He's so shy. Why is that? He flinches, grimacing. I try to stay out of things. The humans don't like me very much. Because you're a demon, right? His mouth twists in something that looks like it's trying and failing to be a smile. Yes, that. I suppose it's fair. It's not every day you see a demon like him walking down the street, even these days. He's well glamoured, but he's still quite obviously inhuman. I wonder what he looks like unglamoured. In a town like this one, so small, I imagine he's quite an unnerving presence. Ask him about the murders, ask him about himself. Murders! Tell me about the murders! Do you know much about the recent murders? Ullman passively looks out the window, a sad look crossing his face. I know that the humans are upset, and that the ones who were killed were hunters. Ezra seems far more tired, and Finn visits him less. Alcar is distant. I thought him and I would be good friends, but now I'm not so sure. He sighs, a knot in his brow. Everything is different, and I don't like it. His eyes light up as he turns to look at me. But now you're here, and everything will be good again. He's so happy. His happiness is infectious, but I can't in good conscience lie to him. I hope so, Omen, but it might take a little while. Right. Yes, I understand that. I don't know much about you, Yeoman. Where are you from? How long have you been here? His eyes widen, pupils dilating, and I see the slightest hint of crimson flickering in chestnut brown. I've been here about 2 years. Time passes differently here for me, so it's hard to know for sure. You'd have to ask Ezra. He will know. I don't miss the way he so tactfully... Wait. Water. I don't miss the way he so tactfully ignored my question about his origins, but I decide not to press him. Yet. How'd you meet Ezra? He lights up at that question, practically bouncing on the spot. I met him the day I arrived in Lunaris. He was the first person I saw, and he took me in without question. Ezra is very kind, it would appear. He nods enthusiastically. He's quite wonderful. Everyone thinks so. Well? He fidgets, dropping his gaze to his hands, blackened fingers toying with the blue crystal again. The General August, they don't like him very much, and that makes Ezra sad. Do you know why? He shakes his head, biting his lip. This demon is very childish. No, I didn't want to ask, but Finn says they've known each other for a very long time. He fidgets where he stands, gaze falling to the place where I know Ezra's living area is situated. Can I show you something? Of course you can. One moment. He dashes through the curtain and separates the front of the shop with the back, reappearing within seconds, clutching a weathered notebook. Here, I keep notes on things I find interesting. Mostly humans, but also Finn, Alcar, Ezra. He trails off, looking wistful. I thought maybe it could help you. If you need to know stuff about certain people, I might have something here. I'm not interested in flirting with this person. Sorry. Can I borrow it? Omen opens the front cover, running a finger over the words. The pages are full to the brim with barely legible notes, all seemingly written quite hastily. Most of it isn't even in a language I understand. Would I be able to borrow it? He tenses, cheeks turning beet red as he closes it and holds it tight to his chest. Oh, well, no. I think I'd like to keep it if that's okay. I'm happy to show you, or read some of it to you if you'd like, though. Yeah, that works. My fingers twitch at the thought of what observations he might have made, but I daren't startle him by insisting. He's very childish and excitable. It's fine. We could be friends. He seems skittish still, just like the first time we met. That's okay, Omen. Maybe another time? Of course! I feel a sudden twinge of pain in my temple again, the sensation unpleasant. Burning. Lainey, are you okay? Omen rushes to my side, the notebook forgotten on the counter. He reaches for me, but he's hesitant. I can feel an impossible warmth radiating off his palm, but he withdraws his hand before he touches me. I'm fine, I really need to find Ezra. Do you have any idea where he could be? I don't know for sure, but he usually goes to the market, the tavern, the catacombs. The catacombs? He nods, leaning closer. Yes, that's where the vampires are. He presses his finger to his lips, a human gesture that looks out of place. Practiced. Oh, that's kind of cute. I would try the tavern first, though. He did mention he needed a drink. He likes wine after a busy day in the shop, and today was very busy. Thank you so much, Omen. I'd better hurry. I bid him a quick farewell and head back out into the darkness. I push my way into the tavern, scanning every table for that shock of white hair, and much to my relief I see a friendly face. Ezra. He's noticed me already, his hand raised, beckoning me over to where he sits alone in a cozy spot in the corner. His smile is bright and as wide as I remember, and I take a seat before him. It's good to see you, Lainey. I hope the town hasn't scared you off yet. Ezra's so pretty. How did you do it? How do you do it? He raised an accusatory eyebrow. Oh, I raised an accusatory eyebrow at him, earning a laugh. Well, even if I was scared off, I can't really go anywhere, can I? Ezra smiles softly, but he seems restless. Suppose not, no. What's that like, being bound to do whatever you're told? It's lonely, I quite like it. I don't know. I don't think currently there's a problem with it. I think it's fine. I actually don't mind it. I think I'm used to it now. It's really all I've ever known. Ezra purses his lips, nodding slowly, but he doesn't seem convinced. I see. So you don't mind the traveling, but never staying in one place for too long? I shake my head. I don't. I accept that this is my life. Oh, I accepted that this is my life long ago. We don't have much of a choice. It's what we prepare for, what we train for. Isolation comes with the job. You can't get too attached because you'll inevitably be moving on. The thought of living such a life seems to upset him, and he looks almost wistful. I can't imagine it. I left home at 18 and found myself here, and I've been lucky to settle and build a life. I don't think I could ever leave any of that behind. He sighs loudly, toying with the stem of his wine glass. Of course he drinks wine. He's so pretty. Why wouldn't he drink out of a pretty glass with pretty liquid? Water. I admire you, you know. I seem to be surrounded by people with resilience that I could only dream of having. I don't know you very well, Ezra, but I get the impression that you're resilient too. He smiles, a little coy, dark cheeks turning red. Did they? Maybe. Finn says that often, as does my mother. I guess it's hard to see it in yourself sometimes. A barmaid comes over and rolls her eyes, hand on her hip, as she addresses me rather curtly. Drink? Whiskey, ale, water. I'll have what he's having. Nope, I don't want that. I don't really drink. Can I just have water? I'll have a glass of water, please. She turns and wanders off with yet another roll of her eyes, and Ezra poorly stifles a laugh. I have anxiety. Don't take it personally. That's Edna. She's notoriously, short. I grimace as she returns with my glass of water. I nod politely. Thank you, Edna. Edna grunts, turning on her heel and throwing a dismissive wave over her shoulder. Case in point. He's so cute. I've never been more grateful for a cold glass of water, and I didn't realize how thirsty I was until I take a sip. Are you okay? You seem tense. Well, I was actually looking for you. I need to tell you something, but promise me you won't think I'm crazy. You're talking to someone who lives in Laris. Try me. Try me, bitch. I take a deep breath and edge closer, checking no one else is listening. I visited the graveyard the day I left your shop to see the crime scene, and I tried to get a feel for what happened there that night. Ezra leans in, eyes wide. And? I didn't really get much then, other than an overwhelming sense of loss, which is, well, quite normal, considering. But tonight I went back. Finn was there too, and I felt something different. Different? How exactly? I huff a laugh, knowing how ridiculous this sounds, but in my line of work, I suppose it's normal. I heard him, Ezra, the hunter, the one who died. He spoke to me. Ezra's gaze darts around the tavern, and he sits back in his chair, running a hand through his hair. He wipes the look of shock off of his face quickly, putting himself to rights. His voice is low when he speaks next, barely a whisper. You're sure it was him? I nod. Positive. He told me to leave. There was no hope. Hang on one second. I'm super fucking hungry. Ezra leans forward again, pushing his wine glass aside, placing his hand upon the table, his fingers twitching. On one hand, I'm super tempted to flirt because he's super cute. But on the other hand, I do think he's already involved. And I don't have a problem with multi-partner relationships. But I'm not the biggest fan of Finn. We'll just flirt. I just want to see what he says. I mirror his movements, placing my hand upon the table beside his, shamelessly needing comfort, contact. Aww. Ezra doesn't hesitate to take it in his own, his skin warm and soft as he squeezes it tightly. Oh, so he's okay, cool. It's gonna be okay. We'll figure this out together. I exhale sharply, feeling like I've been holding my breath ever since I sat in this chair. If I think about it, out of all of the potential partners that we've met, I would have to say that my husband is honestly probably closest to Ezra. But it's not a, definite match. It's not like a, oh yeah, for sure, definitely, 100%. No. Don't mistake me. He resembles Ezra most, though. Shrug. I guess that's why I feel so comforted. And so, he's so dang cute. You know what I mean? I don't remember if I read that, so I'll just reread it, sorry. I exhale sharply, feeling like I've been holding my breath ever since I sat in this chair. Thank you, Ezra. I don't know what I'd do without you, and I've only known you for a few days. He's so cute. It's okay. I'm used to taking care of people. It's my thing, I suppose. I like being taken care of. You can take care of me any day. He softens his expression, drawing gentle, soothing circles on the back of my hand with his thumb. Oh, he's so friggin' nice. Besides, you're delightful. It's not like it's a chore. Oh, he does a blushy. His cheeks darken slightly, dusky rose against warm... What's with this person, the writer, putting dusky rose against insert skin tone? Dusky rose against warm, freckled dust russet. And Ezra is impossibly enchanting. I do love his skin tone. It's so beautiful. I'm glad you're okay, Lainey. I'm here for you always. Do you understand? I do, and I'm more grateful than you'll ever know. Another squeeze of my hand, and we part reluctantly. He's so pretty. Aww, what a freaking cutie. So what now? Ezra huffs a laugh, resting his chin on his hand. He looks tired, that bright emerald gaze firmly fixed upon me. He curls his fingers around the stem of his glass, sighing deeply. I don't even know how to unpack this, but I do know that you need to rest. How's your head? I sigh, pushing my water aside. Still hurting. Ezra fishes around in the pouch that's attached to his belt, retrieving a small vial full of what looks like herb or flower. Here, crush this into some boiling water and it should help with the headache. It's just some feverfew and butterbur. Completely natural, I promise. I take the vial and tuck it safely in my pocket. Do you have a pharmacy in there? He laughs softly, shaking his head. What kind of witch would I be if I didn't carry around a cure for a migraine? I have to burp. No, I don't. I think my tummy's just throwing a fit. Because I didn't eat breakfast. I should head back to the shop. I left Omen unattended with the kitchen cupboard unlocked. He'll let me out of house and home. I did check there before I came here. He had gotten into the sweets. Shit. Look at the face. Oh, shit. Crap. I remembered. Is it aquamarine? Aquamarine. That's the crystal I was trying to compare his eyes to. And that's definitely my cue to leave. Now rest. Whatever you've experienced today will still have happened tomorrow. I know what you hunters are like. No matter how much of a bossy pants August is, your report can wait until morning. I smile up at him as he stands. I promise. I'm drained. I need my bed more than ever right now. Plus, I need to decide how to pull all this into words. Oh, sorry. That changed everything for me, didn't it? Yes, I'm afraid it did. He sighs deeply, resting a hand upon my shoulder. Be mindful of who you share information with, okay? There are eyes and ears everywhere. Good night, Lainey. Good night, Ezra. I stare out of the window and I spot the first snowflake falling from a star-dusted sky. Winter has arrived in Lunaris. My headache is persistent as I lay in bed, but nothing can possibly stop me from falling asleep after the day I've had. I finish the tea that I made with the flowers Ezra gave me, hoping that it begins to take effect. I close my eyes, but just before I drift off, a distant whisper. My name was James. Oh shit. Okay, save. Save into this spot. Well, oh shit. We flirted with almost everybody. We skipped, what, 3 people? I kind of regret skipping Piper. I was like, I'll be very selective about who I flirt with. Flirts with 3 other people. Whoopsie-daisicles. Anyway. Thank you all for coming out and playing with me. I had a ton of fun. And I'll see you all in chapter 3. Bye!